Throughout history, man has thrown itself at the very incarnation of Jesus Christ, proclaiming its impossibility and falsehood based on the science and technology that we have now. But in reality, the incarnation was true, it still is true, and the very nature of biblical doctrine lies upon the basis of it. The Old Testament prophets foretold of the Messiah being both God and man, making him of divine and human nature. We can see Christ's human nature was foretold in scriptures like Isaiah 7:14. A virgin shall conceive and bear a son. His name shall be called Emmanuel. We can also see Christ's divine nature in verses like Isaiah 9:6 and 7, which says, "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, and the Prince of Peace." The incarnation was essential because man sinned and therefore must die, and no man of Adam's race could qualify to redeem us because we are all sinners. When God created man, they were blameless and perfect, without sin. However, when man sinned, they were punished by death and immediately became in need of a Savior to redeem them from death and the grips of Satan. Man is born sinful and as such cannot save one another. I cannot die to redeem my brother, just like he cannot do the same for me. Why? Because I am sinful by nature, sinful by my mortal birth. If no man could save himself, then only God can truly save us. But by his own law, God could not save us as God. He had to become a man. It was through the birth of Christ, through a virgin, that God brought forth a sinless being out of a sinful being, becoming fully man, yet still fully God. It was sin that made the incarnation needed. If God was to save and redeem his creation by becoming man, it would have to be apart from the very thing that brought about death and separation, which was sin. God's answer was seen in the virgin birth, in which God clothed himself in human flesh. It is through the birth of Christ, through a virgin, that God crushes all question of Christ's two natures. All earthly men have been born unto a father and of a mother, having the DNA of both parents. But Jesus had only the human DNA of a woman, of his mother, of the Virgin Mary. One may question why Christ had to be fully man and fully God in order to be our Savior. Well, if Jesus was not born of God and not of a virgin, he would not be sinless. And if Christ was not sinless, then he himself would have been in need of a Savior. And if he needed a Savior, then how could he be our Savior? He cannot be our Savior if he was not sinless. And that is why Christ's incarnation is so important. That's why his two divine natures are so essential. He is fully God and fully man, distinguishable but indivisible.